Am I on? YouTube, what's the deal? It's your girl Jahira, and I am back. Hi, what's going on, y'all? I pray that y'all are well. Um, it is 12:45 in the morning, and I'm getting ready to go to bed. But I needed to come in and make this video because I refuse to put my head to pillow with the stuff that's on my mind, y'all. I'm telling you now. There's going to be some colorful language in this video, just to put it out there. I couldn't go to bed with this on my mind the way that it currently is. And since the only folk I have to talk to about this right now are y'all and Jesus, I'm doing this. I was going to make this video. Well, this was really going to be. I was going to talk about my journey to wellness in a separate video. You know, more formally than this is going to be. But I got so irate today. And it correlates to my journey to wellness in such a way that I'm kind of combining two things. So, yes, this will be a rant, but prior to the rant, there needs to be some backstory. So, in January of 2015, I've never really been big on like New Year's resolutions. I feel like it kind of puts undue pressure on you. And then the inevitable crash and burn when you don't follow through and stuff like that. But I do try to set an intention at the end of every year that like it'll be my theme going into the new year, or it's like one specific thing that I really want to learn or work on or correct or whatever the case is. I mean, that's just kind of my deal. So 2014 going into 2015, I had said to myself, like, I really want to feel better. I just wanted to feel better than I currently at that time did. Um, and around that time, like my phone had shit the bed, committed suicide, the whole nine yards, and I ended up getting a new phone, which had an app already installed on it, which had a pedometer on it. And so um, I was noticing that like when I would go to the store and back, this was back when I was living in Louisville, mind you, that the phone would, track my steps, which was kind of interesting. And so I had this thought in my head that I was going to see how far I could walk in a day. Again, this is January of 2015. And so I set out and I walked. I walked as far as I could walk without, requiring hospitalization. And at the end of the day, I looked at my steps and I had walked about 500 steps. And that was the most that I could do. I had at that time very limited mobility because the lifestyle that I was living, I worked from home, I worked on the phone. Um, I just didn't have a whole lot of motivation to kind of get up and go because, I was relying on public transportation and that was shaky at best. So I was basically living a very sedentary life. There wasn't a whole lot of reason to kind of like get up and go. I'm trying to get comfortable, y'all. Um, so needless to say, um, thanks to my foray from a very early age into the ballroom experience, I have a bit of a competitive streak. So I mean, the following day it was just like, okay, you got to beat your goal. You got to do 501, something like that. You know what I mean? Like it it did become about besting myself. You know what I mean? And then slowly 500 steps got a little easier. And then okay, so I'm doing this walking now. I could probably use some more energy. And so let me, just sort of think about what I'm eating. Now this was a huge deal for me because I wasn't going to go on a diet because I've been on every single diet. And I should mention that around this time I was considering the gastric sleeve, weight loss surgery. And so I don't know. I mean, I didn't live so far away from a Subway. I did start eating like, their 6-inch subs, stuff like that. I mean, just trying to be a little more cognizant of, my intake. And around that time, and actually I slightly before I started walking really seriously, I had gone to the doctors and I got weighed. And I had to get weighed at the doctors because my weight would not register on a bathroom scale. And my highest, at my heaviest, I weighed in at 410 pounds, which was devastating. It was devastating and it was heartbreaking because, there's just, you would think that some kind of bell would ring, like when you're approaching or you've hit like those milestone numbers. But 410 pounds really scared me. And it has to be said, I don't know if I'm doing this too early. Well, I'll repeat it later. It has to be said that for me, this had nothing to do with the way that I looked. My motivation for moving had nothing to do with the way that I looked because, frankly, I always found myself cute. I mean, I always thought, you know what I mean? Like I was I'm a big girl. I'm still a big girl, but I was a big girl then who, when the occasion called for it, knows how to pull myself together and look like something, and it's not like, and this really shouldn't matter. It really shouldn't factor into anything, but you know, I still got my fair share of male attention. I mean, and for some guys it's kind of like fetishistic, but then for others it's just they like the snuggly ones. Um so yeah, I mean, again, I come from an era like, you got to remember that it's a generational thing too. Like when you are pre Melissa McCarthy, when you are pre, I don't know. I mean, well, we had Latifah, but like there just were not a lot of examples of people on magazine covers who looked like me. People who looked like me weren't getting roles in movies. We were getting dinner rolls. I'm just kidding. I just had to say it. I'm sorry. I really apologize. Anyway, um so yeah, I mean, it's just there wasn't a lot of that going on. You know what I'm saying? So in those instances, you really have one or two choices. You can lie down on the couch with like the 10-pound bag of Cheetos and reflect on the travesty that is your life, or you can get in the mirror and sort of declare yourself beautiful because nobody else will. I mean, and no, when it comes from an external force, it's like it's just not the same. You know what I mean? Because it's a well with a, like it's trying to pour water through a pasta strainer. Like all these holes, like it'll never hold until you recognize it internally. So I did. I did recognize it internally. I said it to myself. I would stare in the mirror, look myself in the eyes, which is really not an easy thing to do, and say, "You are so beautiful. You're so beautiful. You're so special. You're so worthy. You deserve greatness. Greatness exists within you." And that voice in my head would be going like, "Bitch, are you crazy? Like your fat ass needs to go lie down somewhere and grab a snack cake." But eventually, that voice starts to silence, like I say it all the time, sort of like interpersonally. You can bullshit yourself into believing just about anything, but with repetition comes sort of the dissipation of the bullshit factor. Suddenly, inexplicably, it begins to be your truth and it resonates within you. And then you get to a point where it's like, I know I am absolutely gorgeous, and I'm just sort of like, it's up to you whether or not you can see it. And if you can't, I really feel for you because it's so palpable. So I'm digressing a little, but needless to say, my walking improved. My eating was a struggle for me. I'm not going to lie about that. I have a huge sweet tooth, and it was sort of getting past sort of like the emotional eating component. But nonetheless, like with every little milestone, when 500 steps became 750, and 750 became my first 1,000 steps, I mean, there were nights that I just cried with real joy over this thing that I was doing that I was actually managing and getting kind of good at. You know what I'm saying? So again, this was January of 2015. Um, Around I want to say August of 2015, I decided to like chronicle my progress, and I did so in a picture, which I will share with y'all now. Ooh. Hey y'all. So yeah, that was me. I believe in August. I want to say August. Yeah, I mean just about maybe August, September at the very latest. But yeah, I know that a lot of people will be wondering sort of how much weight I've lost or what my number is now. And it's not something that I'm comfortable sharing. And I will explain to you why. I'm not being coy and I'm not being funny and stuff like that. But like, I, I'm withholding that information to really drive the point home that for me, there was never a numbers game. For me, there was never some goal weight in mind or goal set. I was very conscious and intentional about not doing that because what if I don't reach it? You know, what if it's unrealistic? What if I fail? Like, I didn't want to derail my progress by having some, magic end point in the ether. It was always just about I want to feel better and this feels better, so I want to keep feeling better. And if this feels that much better, what would the next, you know what I mean, like milestone feel like? And I don't mean milestone as far as numbers. I mean milestone honestly as far as steps. I will say that I am down. Oh God, I think 7 or 8 dress sizes from where I was, and I was a tight women's 32, really very well on my way to a 34. Um, and now I'm like mid 20s, depending on the jeans. Um, yeah, and it's going well. I will say that it's going well, and I haven't stopped. As far as my steps go, I'm really okay with sharing that with you. On average, I am pulling right now because it's winter about 2.4 miles a day, which equals out to about 6,500 steps. The farthest I have ever walked, and that was one hell of a day. Oh my God. Sorry, I just flashback. Was 7.5 miles in one day. And this is the kind of thing that I never believed that I could do. Never. I mean, it was more than I could have possibly conceived of. Major, major for me. Um, yeah. So it's good. It's good. And now, a wonder of wonders, not only am I walking on a daily basis, but um college, my school actually has like I don't know what the hell they call it, some fancy bullshit I have no time for. Basically, it's a phys ed requirement. Now, I don't technically have to do it right now. You can sort of fulfill it like as you go further. But I'm the kind of person who like if you put a plate of food before me, like right in front of me, I will eat the thing that I like the least first. So I have everything else to look forward to afterwards. That's just the way that I am. So I oh God, it shouldn't be this embarrassing. Y'all, I'm taking a dance class. I signed up for Dance 101 and it meets Mondays and Wednesdays. And y'all, I have the most intense love-hate relationship with this class. I'm only 2 classes in, mind you. Like, I've only done this twice thus far. My brain loves it. My body is going, bitch, have we met? Like, my hips are out here like, I thought we was cool. But I love it. It's so immensely gratifying. I'm like over here researching euthanasia, but I love it. But I hate it. But I love it. Like it's nuts. It's kind of abusive. But I mean, that's where I'm at right now. And actually, I'm going to stop this video here. I will do a part 2 regarding the rant portion of this show, but I really sort of want to leave this where it is for now. So stay tuned for the next video. But I mean, I just say all this to say, like, believe me, I'm not a model citizen when it comes to healthful eating, and winters suck when it comes to movement, but like, I still have my eye on it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in this fight. And actually, since I took that picture, I had been to the doctors and I had lost another 6 pounds. And I actually have a doctor's appointment next week, and I'm going to see where I'm at with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where this thing is going to end up. I just want to feel as good as I can so that I can live as long as I can. You know what I mean? Like, I've got some really great reasons to wake up in the morning these days. And I just intend to keep going. So I kind of wanted to share that with y'all. But yeah, part 2 will be coming. I just want to ease y'all into it. But be prepared for the rant of life to be coming at you in the next video. Until then, wherever you go, please take my love with you. And as always, one love.